So here are some of the most important things you need to be doing to get yourself a grade 9 in your GCSE Physics. I made a video just a little while back where I explained how a grade 9 is actually calculated, because it's not like there's any extra skills that you need to be able to do. There are only grade 8 skills. But grade 9 is just this tiny little percentage of people, somewhere around the 2.5% to 4% of people who study your GCSE will get a grade 9. So to get a grade 9, you need to do better than most other people in your GCSE. So how are you going to do that? Well, you've got to be revising at the highest possible level. Let me tell you what I mean by that. In fact, all GCSEs are structured around something called Bloom's taxonomy, which is from the lowest level, just remembering, to understanding and explaining things, to applying, to analysing, to concluding and to evaluating. Now actually, there's going to be about a third of the marks on any higher paper are going to be just these two bottom skills, remembering and understanding, or describing and explaining. Let's think about that in terms of command words. So then application and analysis, so that next kind of band up, that traditional B and A band, but now we'd say a 6 and a 7. So it's the evaluating creative skills that are going to be the highest level, the grade 8 and hence grade 9 level skills. So when you're revising, you need to be really cautious that you're not just doing these bottom level skills, the describing and explaining skills, because they're never going to get you onto the highest levels. You need to be working up here at this apply, analyse, evaluate and create kind of skill. What unfortunately people tend to do, and most people will slip into this habit, is they learn all the lessons that they do, the teacher sets them really challenging work, they do that, they manage that, they learn at a really high level, but then when it comes to revising, they whack out the revision guide and they just spend time making notes, reading over bits, copying out. So you need to be really careful that you don't fall into the trap of just, when you're revising, making notes and memorising, because that's only going to help you with these bottom level skills. I think one of the best ways to actually work at those high levels is actually to look at the experiments, and you'll know in the new GCSEs that you need to know some experiments really, really well. But actually science is experimentation. So if you're doing full experiments and you're doing write-ups, maybe not even just those practicals that are required by your GCSE, but write-ups of full experiments where you're starting from theory, you're planning the experiment in detail, you're conducting, getting the data, analysing it, concluding and evaluating, then you're going to be going through that skill level with that topic. That for me is the best way to learn and hence to revise for your GCSEs. Be really, really wary of when you're getting those revision materials out that you're not working down here at this low level, because you will bring down your skills. You will need to work here at the highest skill levels to make sure that you are preparing to answer those really, really hard questions in your GCSE exams. So if you're preparing to get one of the highest grades, you need to be really, really resilient. And that comes from tackling the very hardest questions more often. So for example, the hardest questions in the textbook, tackle the hardest questions that you can find. Ask good questions. I think that's really, really important. And most of the kids who get really high levels are always the ones who come to me and they ask good questions to probe their own understanding, to make sure that they get things at the highest level. They're never satisfied with just understanding the basics. Oh, well, that's what the mark scheme says, so I'll just learn that. They want to learn the depth. They want to take it further than the syllabus actually tells them. And understanding the next level. So again, it's building on, well, what is in your GCSE, what is in that syllabus, but actually thinking, well, if I understand that deeper, I'm more likely to be able to answer those harder questions on that same topic. I'm thinking that a lot of you, if you're thinking about those grade 9s, then possibly one of the best ways to do that is to use some A-level materials to revise for your GCSEs. So I think I'll make a video where I actually explain that a little bit more deeply about how you can actually find the right stuff in A-level materials to be revising for your GCSEs to aim for those 8s and 9s. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Gorilla Physics. I'm Kit Masters, and we're all about helping you understand your physics more so you enjoy it more, so you get more confident and so you do better in those exams. Thanks a lot for watching. Maybe you've got a tip for the way that you like to revise in physics. Put it down in the comments and help other people out as well. And I'm interested to find out new things as well. A lot of these videos do come from people asking questions, so why not? If you've got a question, stick it down in the comments.